a place where children can seek humanitarian services and normality. Go ahead. Education is...
That's great.
Is that an earthquake?
Yeah.
Oh. Education is...
You're making the ground shake.
Members of the UN Security Council, thank you for the opportunity to address you about the humanitarian situation in Gaza. After months of systemic and deliberate denial of humanitarian access, children are now dying from malnutrition and dehydration in Gaza. Denied food and water by an illegal blockade, they have been starved to death. The first thing that struck me when I arrived in Gaza last week was how many children there were. How many of them were actually running around without shoes, over glass and rubble and debris. Running around, desperately looking for food and water because not enough is being allowed into Gaza. They were visibly, demonstrably malnourished. 350,000 children under the age of 5 are at risk of starvation as we speak. The world is staring down the barrel of a man-made famine. The hunger in the north is of a particular concern, where people have now resorted to eat animal feed or tree leaves. If we continue down this path of all parties to conflict, flagrantly breaching the rule of war and international humanitarian law, zero accountability, powerful nations refusing to use the levers of influence at their disposal, then the next set of mass deaths of children in Gaza will not be from bullets and bombs. It will be from starvation and malnutrition. This indecision and inaction is a choice, and choices have consequences. Severe malnutrition is not a quiet or painless death. As children get hungry, their bodies weaken, their muscles waste, their vision blurs, immune systems fail, organs fail, hearts stop. At this stage, children are too weak to cry. While I was in Gaza, I visited some really excellent humanitarian programs staffed by incredible people, my own colleagues and many others. I saw a field hospital erected in 14 days, using only locally available materials because the other materials were not allowed in. These heroic efforts are fighting against an overwhelming tide of need. There is no sanitation to speak of. A community I visited had one toilet for 600 people. Women stood in line for 3 hours to make use of it. Schools normally form a spine of protection for children, a place where children can seek humanitarian services and normality. Go ahead. Education is...
Wow. That's great.
Is that an earthquake?
Yeah.
Well, education is...
You're making the ground shake.
Education is in many ways... Madam President, am I okay to continue? Education is in many ways life-saving, but not in Gaza, where every single child is out of school and 80% of education facilities have been destroyed.